Hey guys, it's Chef Jojo with ECO, and on this episode we're going to talk about why you shouldn't throw in the towel. Don't quit, don't give up on your dreams, and how you're going to have to work through it. And as always, we're going to discuss this topic over a shift drink. Ooh, that's tasty. Tonight we're having as a shift drink a St. Archer IPA. You might see a little red face from the IPA, and sometimes that happens. Super tasty though. Look, I hate to date these episodes, but this is such an important date. It's January 12th, 2020, and today is the day that 98% of all people give up on their New Year's resolutions. My last episode, I talked about how I wasn't going to do New Year's resolutions. I was going to write a list, and I was going to find one word that tied all of those together. And my word was discipline. I was super excited to share that with you all. I'm still working on extra stuff for the list and how I'm going to lay out my year, but I'm staying true to my word discipline. I'm working at it every day, and it's been very, very hard. Today, for example, was a nightmare, but we're right here. We're filming this shift drink, and we're letting you guys know that we understand. You don't want to throw in the towel, or you don't want to quit. I mean, it's easy, but it's not worth it. You know, life is hard, and it'll knock you on your ass. Hell, the kitchen knocks you on your ass every day. But being physically and mentally exhausted, is temporary. What's your pride worth? And you can't accept excuses for payment. That just doesn't work. You're not going to find where you want to be and be successful in that. Pride is forever. And that's what we need to remember. A lot of you guys out there find a sense of fulfillment based on your pride because you do a good job in the kitchen or you had a good day at work. I mean, it's such a great feeling when the entire kitchen is vibing and everybody crushes it and it's a good night. Or you put out a beautiful dish, or you had this idea and you want to make it, and then you make it and it's exactly what you thought. That fills you with such a sense of accomplishment. And it's hard to replace that. And that's why I have to say, we have such pride about what we do inside the kitchen and in the restaurant business, the service, all of those things. We feel good when we do it. But what happens when you're not hitting the mark? When you go to work and you're failing left and right, or you're setting these goals or like ambitious things that you want to do in your life and you can't find any traction. You're going to have to take a moment and you're going to have to say, okay, if I quit, I'm not going to get there. It's so easy to throw in the towel. It's so easy to say this is a bunch of bullshit. I see your posts and your comments. There's a group of you out there, especially on Facebook, that always comment it's the worst business that you're ever in. But for some reason, you're still talking to us and you're still following us. I get it. You miss it, but you want to stay in it, but you can't, right? I don't want you to give up on your dreams or hopes. And if it's not inside this industry, I totally understand. Go be happy somewhere else. But if you want to make it in this industry or anywhere, it's going to take a lot of hard work. 10% talent, 90% hard work is what some people say. Not everybody has that inner dialogue with themselves that's honest. And that's what you have to do. You have to find this inner dialogue that actually holds you accountable for what you're doing. You have to believe this inner dialogue. And if you can do better and be better, then do better and be better. You got to hold yourself accountable. Like I said before, excuses aren't going to get you to your goal, right? So you have to sit there and make adjustments. When you are struggling, it's the hardest time to figure out what's next. Recently, I got a message on Snap, and it was just out of nowhere, and the guy's like, hey man, I just started cooking, and I've been doing it for a little while, and I'm on the grill. And I have this job where I'm on the grill, and it's at a steakhouse, and I am failing. And I'm like, oh man, the grill. For me, the grill, I think, is one of the most challenging spots, especially if it's at a steakhouse or a place that does a lot of steaks at different temperatures. First off, most people don't know what mid-rare is. And once you learn mid-rare from your chef or from people around you, and then you send it out and it comes back, it can be devastating when you know it's mid-rare and they don't know and you get to blame them. But it takes a while to get there. Do you guys remember when you first got put on grill and you were losing your mind because you couldn't find out the difference between mid-rare, and medium? And you were like touching all the steaks trying to figure out the firmness because the guy that trained you could just like look at it. The grill for me was a nightmare. Every time I got put on the grill and it was a busy night, before I knew it, I'd find myself back in pantry making salads or desserts or appetizers, and someone was bailing out my mess. My chef would have to jump on the grill. And what made it worse is that it was a wood fire grill. Like, it was not gas. It didn't have, you couldn't turn it up or down. You had to start the fire early. So if you started the fire and you were making all your other stuff and you turned around and you didn't pay attention to it early in the shift, you wouldn't have enough coals to get through the night. So you had to put more wood on it, then it would burn hot. It was finesse at the highest level for me that I did not understand, and I sucked. I sucked at this station, and I just remember being berated night and night, and I just wanted to go home, and I really wanted to quit. I didn't want to work in that station anymore. I was better in pantry or better on saute, but he would not let me get off the grill. He kept me on the grill. Sometimes, and I'll say this, sometimes your chef or your people around you are going to know what you need to go through. And then sometimes you're going to have to rely on that inner dialogue. You're going to have to believe in yourself more than what others believe in you. He just wouldn't, well, honestly, I guess we didn't really have anybody else, so I just kind of got screwed and just stuck on that station. So I had to plan, I had to adjust, I had to overcome and figure out where I was screwing up. And a lot of it had to do with like losing myself in the minutia. Like, a perfect example is today, right? Just today, I was trying to do so much in so little amount of time. I wanted to spend time with the family. We wanted to go to church. I needed to do some breaks with my son on his car, and everything kind of spun out of control. And here I am filming later than I wanted to put this episode up. But did I say, oh, I'll just do it tomorrow? No. We buckled down, we set up, we shot the video, we did it. Now, was it easy? No. But do I feel a sense of pride in talking to you all right now? Hell yeah. This is exactly like what I was kind of looking forward to all day. I'm excited to have this conversation because when I was texting with Brian on Snap, or snapping, whatever you want to call it, I was like, look, man, I used to get my ass handed to me on the grill, and it's hard. But what you have to do is you have to put it behind you each day, come in focused. Don't come in late, don't come in with a bad attitude. Come in showing up ready to work. Because I'm going to tell you right now, hard work will outwork talent every day. It's proven. And he's like, really? You used to get thrown off the grill? Man, he's like, I ruined like 10 steaks last night. And I was like, yeah, I know. And all of us have experienced it if you worked it enough where you sent out 4, 5, 6 entrees off the grill. And then next thing you know, here comes the first one. And then the second one, the third one, and then the fourth one. And then holy shit, you've got a rail full of food that you totally screwed up. It sucks. It deflates you. It pulls all the energy out of you. Just everybody needs to realize that everybody has gone through that. And it doesn't, like a grill's a perfect metaphor for everything that we do in life, right? You have to understand the hot spots. You have to understand the times that it takes to put the steak in this corner, move it over to this corner. And here's the kicker. Here's the one that makes it really rough, is that once you get it all figured out and you're working at that one place and you got that grill owned and you think you know everything, and you're like, oh, I'm going to go work somewhere else. I'm going to pick up another job. And you're like, oh, I'm a grill master. That's what you can call me. I'm going to work the grill. And you show up and you jump on somebody else's new kitchen or new grill, and it's absolutely, completely, 100% different. It takes you 3 or 4 days to find your groove on the grill. You have to adjust this side, work this side. and you realize that the restaurant's ticket times are a little bit different. The way the style happens inside that restaurant, completely different. You know what? That's a challenge. That's how life is. As soon as you think you figured it out and there's just a minor little tweak, you have to like work around it. And man, I find that cooking is so similar to life a lot of times, because when you really think about it, you have to plan, you have to overcome, you tweak something and you work on it, and it doesn't quite give you what you want. But when you nail it, man, you feel fulfilled. And then when it's not right, everything's not right, and you just want to throw in the towel. You want to turn in your chef coat and you're like, screw it. It's not even worth it. But for some reason, you come back and you fight again. You know, I always say that the only goal I have for the people that I work with and work for is that I want to be better today than I was yesterday. And that's the goal for me for 2020, and I know it's going to take a lot of discipline, but I'm not going to get there if I quit. I'm not going to get there if I throw in the towel. It's just not going to happen. When you are having a tough time, take a moment, look in the mirror, and check yourself. Have a quick conversation and say, look, what am I doing wrong? How am I going to get better? And don't accept an excuse, because your pride is really the only thing that you have. And you have to hold that and cherish it and push yourself forward. And if you don't, you're going to be miserable. I mean, I'm speaking from experience. When I've always quit on something, it's always haunted me. I've had to go back and work at it. If you guys have any questions or comments, I'd love to hear them about this subject. I don't want you to quit on your new you or whatever you're doing this year. I mean, for the comments I got for the discipline video, thank you so much. It was very thoughtful. I enjoyed reading them. I hope you enjoyed my comments back. If you guys want to take the time, you can follow us on Snapchat, Instagram, or Facebook. Send me any questions or comments or concerns you might have. I'd love to try to help you through what you're going through. That's one of my favorite things that we've started to do inside this little thing called ECO. If there's somebody inside that has helped you through all of this culinary craziness, or you really want to say thank you, why don't you take the moment, write a letter to us at chefeco@extremeculinaryoutfitters.com. If we choose your letter for that month, you will get $50 for sending it in, and the person that you nominate gets $150 worth of gear. You get $50 worth of gear, they get $150 worth of gear. It's kind of the way that we can give back. It's a small token to say, hey, let's take care of each other, because if we don't, nobody else will. You know, it's an interesting subject that I'm talking about tonight, and I really appreciate you guys taking the time and listening to the video. If you guys want to hit the bell and follow us, we'd greatly appreciate it. If you hit the bell, you get notified when we put this video up. And as always, I'm Chef JoJo, and until next time, cheers.